Well guys, today I'm going to be doing a video on how to remove and replace the carburetors on 2001 through I think it's like 2002 or 3 Raptor 660s. The ones that have the dual carburetors, the ones that weren't fortunate enough to get the single carburetor. So I got two in the shop right now that both have the same exact problem. Won't start, won't idle, or do start but won't idle without the choke, and then when you turn off the choke they just die, and even on the choke they run shitty. Both situations is probably because of a clogged carburetor, something in the main jet, and there's two ways to remove it. I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest, but even with dual carburetors, not really a quick way, but I'm just going to show you how to get it done. Alright, so these are the two in hand right now. I already removed the gas tank, and this is the easiest way to do it. You remove the one bolt from back here, and then there's two up underneath of the bars, one on that side, one on that side, and then the two Phillips screws that hold on this plate, and then the ones back here, they're just little plastic rivets. You remove those, then you remove your fuel line from the tank, not from the carburetor. Leave the ones on the carburetor, or else you're just going to make it harder on yourself later. So remove the fuel line from the petcock that's on the gas tank, and then I'll show you how to get off these carbs. Okay, now getting into the meat and potatoes of this thing here. What we're going to want to do is in here, there's this clamp, and then there's this clamp. They're both Phillips. Get to them from the bottom down here, and then on the other side, excuse me, they're not Phillips, they're Allens, it looks like. And then what we're going to do after we loosen those, we're going to loosen the ones on the back of the carb that go to the air box right here. And then we're going to disconnect the throttle cable right here. You take off these three Phillips screws, and then inside you will see, well, I'll show you when I get there, and I'll show you how to get it off. And then we're also going to disconnect the choke. Okay, so I finally got those bastards out, and let me tell you something. I've done this probably about, I don't know, more than 20 times now, getting these carbs out of here. And not on this one, of course, but these things are harder to get off than Martha Stewart on a dirty beach towel. There is so many things you have to take apart. Of course, you have to pull the throttle cables out, choke cable out, and in this case, too, my choke cable was severely frozen inside the carburetor. I was able to get it out, but not without a fight. And then also, this boot was loose. The clamp was loose. I wasn't able to even get a wrench on it at all. And see how that's clamped shut? And yet, it was still loose enough to pull the carburetors out. It means the clamp is spent, that it's been stretched too much. So that's going to need to be replaced. So keep attention to that when you are taking off yours. If you could pull your... In editing, I saw I made a mistake with the video cutout on the clamp part, but what I was going to say is make sure that there's like a little tube spacer that's inside there. If when the clamp stretches, that tube, it's like a little zinc colored tube, it will not let the clamp close further. Don't just take out that tube and then clamp it. The reason why that tube is there is so you do not over tighten it, and over tightening it you can cut into the rubber that's in that intake manifold, and that could cause more problems than what you're up against right now. So what you do instead is you can take that tube, you could take an angle grinder to it and just take, you know, like 2 millimeters off, and it'll give you a little bit more band life if you don't have the ability to purchase another OEM one from Yamaha, but that's the only real fix for it. And then for the throttle cable, you do have to remove the cap, loosen up your cable, and then you can pull this through, and then after that is when you can kind of, you'll see when you get to that part on the throttle butterfly on the carburetor, you can roll that over and then pull it out, and the cable has a nice slack to it where you can pull it off and put it on easier. So, okay. So after you got the carb out, you're going to want to take out the 4 screws here per bowl, so 8 screws total. And then the 3 jets you're going to want to remove out of this one, the 2 in this one. The difference is, or the reason is this one has 2, this one has 1, or it's 3, excuse me. is because this carburetor acts at a different idle range than this one. This is obviously because it has a slow jet and an idle jet, and this one only has a main jet and a slow jet. This one aids at starting and idling, and then right off a throttle response, and then this one kicks in at high rev to help it push. So pull out these jets, clean them, spray them out with carb cleaner, and then blow them with compressed air. Put them back in, then do this one. Don't do them together, you'll confuse it. Okay, so I found my problem with this carburetor setup. It's this one right here that goes inside that hole right there on what would be the right side carburetor. This jet that I pulled out of there is plugged solid. Even blowing compressed air through it is not cleaning it out. Can't see any daylight through that hole. That means that thing is clogged real bad. So I'm going to have to run a wire through this. If you got a welding tip cleaner, those work great. A needle, anything to unplug it and then flush it out and make sure that you can see daylight through it. Okay, she's all back together, for the most part anyway. Enough to get me to start it. Let's just see here. I'm going to turn on the key. Give a couple bumps on the accelerator pump, even though it doesn't have one. There we go. Oh yeah. Killer. So that was my problem. I had a majorly clogged jet, and let me tell you what, unclogging that thing was no easy task. What I had to do was end up taking a wire brush, one of these wires on here, and reaming it in the jet. Because I tried a needle, I tried speaker wire, I tried so many things, but a stainless steel brush finally had a bristle that was strong enough and sharp enough to penetrate that blockage in that jet. So I hope this has been helpful. Any questions, you can leave it down in the comments below. Please remember to subscribe. Every video I do a different bike. I am a certified Yamaha mechanic, so I typically lean to Yamahas, but I'll work on anything. If you break it, I'll fix it. Alright, well thanks a lot guys. Again, comments, questions, leave them down below. Negative stuff, you know what, take it to another video. I don't need to see that crap. Thanks a lot.